What is going on, bitches? I'm your boy, Fatal McMotherfucking Fisto, and welcome back to a chill zone.
That has the cat.
That's right. That clip is never going to get old. That clip is never going to get old. But yeah, welcome back to another episode of the Chill Zone, a token chill. This will be part 10. Not going to be a long one, but it's definitely going to be fucking, I'll try to see if I can go for an hour on this one at least for you guys. Who knows? Maybe it might be a longer one. I don't know, because we get into some fucking pretty deep conversations in this motherfucker sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But speaking of video games, though, there's definitely a couple of interesting fucking things to bring up in the conversation. One is a rumor, which I'm going to take with a semi-grain of salt, just a semi-grain of salt. Not on the aspect of the games itself, but just the aspect of, I'll bring that up when I actually talk about that. But there was also another thing I wanted to bring up too as well, and I forgot what the fuck it was. Oh yeah, Netflix. Fucking Netflixo is shutting down their AAA studio that they opened up 2 years ago that never made a fucking video game, hired some talent, including fucking that Joseph fucking Statham, or the fuck his name is there, the one that used to work for the 343 and then left. He left 343, went to Netflix to join this company, and then now he's like, it's rumored that he might be going back to fucking Halo Studios now. Like, oh man. Oh god. All right, that's done. Where is it? No, I got a couple more tokes out of that. What else came out today from news-wise? There was a couple things that I wanted to bring up in conversation, man. What the fuck was it again? Well, I know one of them, but it's fucking gross. Let's see here. There was an interesting... I just saw it right before fucking... while I was setting up my live stream, and I was looking for, like, things that I can talk about on the show. I came across it on a fucking thread somewhere, man. I'm just trying to find it again now. I don't know where the fuck it went to. Oh, yeah, here it is right here. It's right in fucking front of me. Derp. So, the Empire of Ants developer came out, right, and did an interview with that WCCF Tech fucking.com website or whatever. And one of the questions that was brought up in the interview was, how much of an improvement is there between the PS5 and the PS5 Pro versions of the game? Also, how does the PS5 Pro version stack with the maxed out PC game? Question mark, right? This is what the developer said in response. As said, and as presented by Sony, it is expected that most games will double their frame rate on the Pro or improve scene fucking quality and shit like that if they are already running in 60 on the PS5. Still maxed out on PCs are kind of quote-unquote no limit. So there will, of course, be, more powerful stuff like that, of course, like that. But you can't compare them. A maxed out PC is going to cost easily 3 to 5 times more and consume 3 to 5 times more electrical energy. But what is interesting and says a lot about the flattering silicone elevation curve, or whatever you want to call it, is that your game on a monster PC is not going to look or play 3 to 5 times better than on a PS5 Pro console. There is a huge diminishing return on how high-end silicone, and that might have an impact on the life cycle duration of console hardware. Very, 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 very interesting fucking answer. But I kind of get where he's coming from, you know what I mean? Because, like, the stuff that Sony is doing, especially with, like, when Dooley broke down the whole aspect of what PSSR, I think it's called, or whatever the case would be, it's like an AI generation thing for frames, or whatever the case would be. Like, I don't know, like the AI adapts to, I don't know, it's hard to, I don't really know how to explain it because I'm not a techie kind of guy, but it was very, very interesting to see, like, it's going to fill in the gaps for, like, fucking frames that, like, you know what I mean? So that makes games run 100% smooth the entire time. Like, that's something that I think that I look at and be like, you know what? That's where AI is going to excel when it comes to hardware. You know what I mean? But I don't want it to be something where, like, AI is going to be taking over fucking, like, voice acting in video games and storylines and all that shit. Because then at that point, man, it's like, if you're not writing your own material and you're letting an AI do it, then what the fuck is the point? But it's also going to get to the point, too, as well, where, like, AI can literally make a fucking video game for you, man. Like, design it however you want, how big your world and fucking whatever you want to call it, and to make sure that it runs on whatever configuration or platform that you program it to, like, which is fucking going to be insanely cool in the foreseeable future. It's definitely going to open up a lot of opportunities for young developers, man, to have some, like, creative ideas. Because don't get me wrong, like, you can do some creative stuff with AI as long as you tell it to do that. You know what I mean? But you don't want AI, like, fucking, like, just getting the bare minimum and then fucking giving you a, like, you know what I mean? Let alone is, like, is that outcome of that story is, like, even going to be worth the payoff? And then, like, oh, okay, well, I don't really like this. Refresh. Let the AI generate another story. You just keep going until you find one that, like, that you're interested in, and then you add to it. Fill in the gaps in the story. Make you know what I mean? Like, make it everything all connect together, or maybe put a twist in the middle somewhere or some shit, you know? That kind of shit. That's going to be interesting, man, if AI ever gets to that point, which I'm sure eventually it will at some point, but yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. Fucking the FTC shit. How AI written reviews are no longer going to be a thing anymore going forward, no matter on any website or any publication, which I think is fucking hilarious. So Xbox, you might want to get your shit together and, you know, and have your games come out proper, not buggy, not broken, not missing content, full-on fledged games that run, like, out of the gate perfectly fine on your hardware. Then yeah, you know what I mean? You got to work for that fucking shit. You got to work your way up the fucking ranks in order for your game to even be in the same category of fucking for Game of the Year. But I mean, who knows, man? I mean, fucking the new Doom game might be a nom for Game of the Year. Maybe fucking what do you call it there? Fucking what the hell's another? Oh yeah, Fable. Maybe Fable, but I don't know. Fable's a big if though. What up, Stardust? What up there, fucking everybody in the chat? My bad, guys. Sorry, I don't mean to be fucking ignoring you motherfuckers, dude. My bad. So, let me get to the interesting, hilarious rumor. Now, I'm taking this rumor with a grain of salt, but in a light peppering kind of way, and I'll explain as we go along. So, there's this rumor that popped up that I'm looking at that I find extremely interesting. Is it says rumor PS5/PS5 Pro versions in development for Fable, Gears E-Day, Perfect Dark, Avowed, Blade, and Halo. Now, we've already seen the transition that Halo is now going to be on the Unreal 5 engine. In fact, all these games are pretty much basically running on the Unreal 5, minus Fable. That's running on the actual fucking Forza tech. And Gears is going to be running on Unreal 5, clearly. You know, Perfect Dark, I don't know what engine Perfect Dark is running on. Maybe Unreal, I don't know. I know Avowed is on Unreal 5 because they made that move back in 2021, which is the year that I thought that we were going to actually see a release window for it, but we never did. But anyways, now, when I say with a grain of salt, I say that in the context of eventually these games will go over, but in the context of what games are going to go over first. You know what I mean? Like, is Gears E-Day going to be a day one game? You know what I mean? If this rumor happens to be true, again, I'm just going on the basics of a rumor, but I mean, let's be real. We already know that these games are inevitably going over to other platforms that, you know, in the foreseeable future. Perhaps maybe even day one. Who knows? Who knows? Because if Microsoft can sit there and make money off of their shit on other people's platforms, including PC, while having people on the console side, on the Xbox fucking console side, pretty much basically be like the game passers, essentially, you know what I mean? Then they might just, like, keep that afloat, you know? because that's just money going in their pocket, right? But at the same time, too, as well, it's like, I don't think Microsoft necessarily needs to be spending $1 billion a year on fucking games to put on the service, but I get why they're doing it. But, I mean, Jesus Christ. Although I will say, though, like, the investments are actually starting to pay off, because if you look at a lot of the stuff that was announced during the actual showcase this year, like, fucking, dude, Expedition 33, that's Game Pass day one. Fucking all the first party shit, of course, like South of Midnight's going to be day one, too, as well, and that game looks fucking phenomenal. Like literally like almost every game minus like maybe like 2 or 3 were like, we're not coming to Game Pass at all. So I'm really glad to see that Microsoft is taking those investments and putting it into games that have an attraction to the service, you know what I mean? Because like Expedition 33 looks fucking, oh my god, dude, that game's going to be fucking mint. That game's going to be fucking mint, man. So let me ask the chat a question, because I think this is I'm generally curious to see people's answers on this, man. So I understand the whole entire aspect that buying the game outright is, you know, like the best way to support the developer, you know what I mean? But what's to say for those people that, like, it doesn't really matter if they buy the game because they still get the money anyways, regardless of this aspect, but I do find it rather interesting that a person would go out and spend, let's say, $70 on a fucking AAA game, right, to support that developer, but then they don't play the game at all. It just sits in the fucking xylophone wrap, you know what I mean, in their fucking, on their shelf, like they have no desire to play it. So, like, on the one half, I can respect that person for spending their own money on a game that they don't give a fuck to play, but they're still supporting the developer, right? Now, is that any different to, say, someone like myself or whatever you want to call it, who plays a game and like and talks about it, shares video clips, shares screenshots, and actually goes through the game, plays it, beats it, and talks about it, you know what I mean, and gives like their own personal opinion about it, aka a review or whatever? Is that worse than a person buying the game at $70 and not playing it? Like, I know that, I don't know if I'm hoping to God, like, that makes sense. Because, like, I think from my perspective, it kind of works in both favors, right? Like, because, like, if somebody's buying the game at $70, then, you know, like, you're helping the developer out, you're supporting their shit, good for you kind of thing. But if you're not playing the game, then you're not really technically promoting that game to a degree. And I don't like using the word promoting because that sounds very artificial, but basically, like, letting people know that game is out there, you know what I mean? Especially when it comes to, like, obscure titles and shit, but we're talking about, like, you know, popular games that are guaranteed to sell kind of shit, you know what I mean? So I'm generally curious to hear your guys' thoughts on that, man, if you guys actually understand what the fuck I'm even trying to get at here, because I was trying to word that as best as I possibly can, but yeah. I think, even though I'm missing out on the aspect of, you know, buying the game to support the developer that way, I'm still acknowledging their game, playing their fucking game, and fucking enjoying their shit, you know, and sharing and telling people about the game, or whatever the case may be. I think that does more, that helps the developer out more. You know what I'm saying? Word of mouth goes a long way is basically like another way of summing up, I guess. By the way, how do I sound on the stream, man? Because earlier on Discord, Faye was saying that I was having like microphone issues or whatever, but I'm pretty sure it was just on Discord itself, because I've done some tests and whatever, and fucking everything seems to work. Everything seems to be going fine, but yeah, I know it is crickets in the chat there, Stardust, man, I know. I see we're having a slow day today. Oof. And this might be a slow fucking early closure of my stream, but we'll see how it goes. Like, what do you think of that, Stardust, man, if you don't mind me getting your fucking opinion on that, so that way I don't sound like a fucking idiot by myself up here, trying to get you guys to answer that question and nobody's answering. I think, I don't know. I think it's fucking fine to do it that way too as well, because it's not like, first of all, like, if Microsoft is giving money to these devs to put their game on a service, clearly it's a package that the developer is satisfied with. You know what I mean? So, like, it's not a huge loss on their half, especially if their game takes off on the service and people actually buy the game after they try it out, you know, which I've seen people do. Hell, I've even done it myself. Oh, God, gross. God damn it, chat. To be honest, I don't see. It's a tricky kind of question, though, right? Because everybody will pretty much basically give you the flat answer, like, no, if you don't buy the game, you're not supporting the developer. Like, there's no two ways about it. I don't want to hear shit. Blah 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 blah. End of story kind of conversation, right? But I've never believed that, because if that be the case, then we would have never, like, all developers in the industry back in the 90s would have fucking fought with Nintendo's fucking aspect to ban renting video games and shit like that. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. Developers wouldn't want that shit. At least that's how I look at it, but I could be completely wrong. I don't fucking know, dude. Because I've spoken to a couple devs, man, and they've told me too as well, like, either or is fine. Oh, shit. Fucking sneeze. But yeah, fucking, I don't know. I figure I'd bring that up in conversation, I guess. Yo, Nelson, dude, okay, so I have a question for you, Nelson, right? So, how do I word this again? Okay, so let's say you bought a $70 game, right? You brought it home, but, like, you didn't play it. You left it in the actual, in its wrapping, and it's been sitting on your fucking shelf for, like, a month, right? You say, oh, I'll get back, I'll get to it sooner or later, you know, that kind of shit like that. Is it safe for me to say that, like, if a game comes to a service, let's say Game Pass, right? The same exact game that you drop $70 on, and I get to play it day one, but I get to play it on a service that I'm already paying for. Is it wrong for me to say that I'm still supporting the developer on the aspect that, like, granted, yeah, you dropped $70 on it, but you're still not playing it? Whereas, from my perspective, Xbox paid the developer or whatever package deal Microsoft fucking took, but I'm still playing their game. I'm going through their game. I beat their game. I'm promoting their game in my own kind of way by, like, my screenshots on social media or on video clips and fucking, you get the idea, right? That kind of shit. Wouldn't that be fair to say that somebody who actually is playing the game and actually talking about it to a public audience, a better way of supporting the developer than just saying you drop $70 but not play their shit? You see what I'm trying to get at? If, like, I'm hoping, Nelson, you get what I'm asking here, man. Because if not, I'm going to sound like a fucking retard, bro. Not a good look. Not a good look. You know what I'm saying? Don't want that. I don't know. I just feel like fucking, like, there's multiple ways that you can support a developer. You know what I mean? Like, whether it's buy their shit and then, like, I mean, you can still buy their stuff. You're still supporting the developer anyways, even if you play the game or not. So it's not a huge loss. You know what I mean? You're just doing yourself a disservice by not playing a game that you dropped $70 on. You know what I mean? You're not doing the publisher or developer a disservice because you already bought their shit. It's why the numbers of, like, how many PS fucking 5s have been sold, how many Switches have been sold, how many Xboxes have been sold. I don't really, like, fucking linger on that shit, dude, because you have to ask yourself this question, right? Like, how many of those Switch sales and how many of those fucking PlayStation and Xbox sales for console-wise are somebody who bought, like, 2 or 3 fucking of those said consoles from one household? You know what I mean? Because I know a lot of people in the gaming community who actually did that. Sick Humor is one of those types of guys. Fucking a few other people from the round table did that shit. Or they'll buy the fucking, like you know what I mean? Like, they'll buy different, like, themed versions of a console, that kind of shit. Never really understood that from my perspective, dude, because I was like, why would you do that? Like, why would you rebuy a console that you currently own? For a limited edition, I can kind of see that per se, but like, really? I don't know. It just weirds me out a little bit. Not financially. I would rather have that $50 for my studio rather than 50 fucking prescribers for every or whatever they get, fucking 10, 20 million. Yeah, but here's the thing though, right? But like, let's say if like, whatever the package the developer or the publisher agrees upon, right? Obviously, it's going to be something that they see beneficial to them. You know what I mean? So, like, let's say if Microsoft like paid the budget of what that game costs, right? So that way, like, whatever it sells, it's just all pocket money to that developer or that publisher. You know what I mean? Then at that point, that what you just said is kind of irrelevant because the developer's already got their fucking budget already paid off, so they're not losing anything at all. You know what I mean? There's no loss. So like every sale is a plus to them. Puts them in the positives, not the negatives. You know what I mean? Like they can like rest fucking free not worrying about their game not selling at all. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of devs who do that shit on Game Pass, man. Like, you know what I mean? Because like if they know that their game is definitely not going to be a big seller, but they have like a decent sized budget, Microsoft will just fucking recoup that. You know what I mean? In order to get the game on the service. Like for you, like from a developer's perspective, dude, like if they go that route with the thing, what's up your latency? Then yeah, they're benefiting from you because now they're gaining money from you and many others, but it's going straight in their pocket now. You know what I mean? So at that point, the dev doesn't give a shit. Bungie joining PlayStation's motherfucker. Like, what are you like? Are you been living under a rock there, Bree? Like, that's been known for a long time, dude. Put it this way. If I have a shit or a mediocre game, I would go into a service. Yeah, but how do you know if it is shit or mediocre? What? The generalization of going based on review scores? Okay. All right, let's talk about that. So, when you look at an overall, right? The overall is there to do what? To convince you as a consumer that the overall from the reviews are generic or not that really positive, you know, that kind of shit. But have you ever actually sat back and looked at the individual reviews in question? You know what I mean? Because that's where the actual overall comes from. So how come if a game comes out and let's say IGN scores it a fucking 5 or whatever the case may be, but then you have 3 other sites, non-fucking Xbox or non-PlayStation centric sites, review it and they give it a higher fucking score, doesn't that not make you wonder to yourself, like, maybe it's a game that I should actually test out myself? Because if these three journalists or publications are giving it this high of a score, but then 4 of these companies are fucking giving it a mediocre score, maybe I should see it for myself and see how it plays out for myself. But nobody would ever fucking dare to do that. Because the overall, it's just a general easy number for them to glance at and be like, pass, trash, dog shit. You know what I mean? But they never want to take the chance to look at the overall or the individual fucking scores. Which, to be fair, for my money, dude, that could be an answer to a lot of like people's fucking questions about a game, dude. Or it's like, or if a game comes out and like it gets like all these fucking amazing scores, and then like 3 journalists come out and give it shit scores, then those journalists are doing it because they have some kind of agenda behind it. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, they don't want fucking, they hate Sony, that's why they fucking knocked the score down. But like, motherfucker, it's a fucking opinion piece, dude. Like, not everyone's opinion is going to be the exact same thing as what a 9 out of 10 that IGN fucking gave? No. That's not how that works. But we're conditioned to fucking like to be offended for some reason by that shit. Like, does it fucking matter if the score's an 85 and it gets knocked down to a fucking 84? Does it really fucking bother you? What's that 1 point difference going to do for you? Absolutely fucking nothing. Because that game is technically still nothing more than a fucking 8 overall. Because the 0.1 to fucking 9 doesn't add to it or equate to fucking anything. But it also gives those people that, like, it manipulates those people into thinking that, oh, well, they gave it a fucking an 8.5. That's closer to fucking to a 9, though. Motherfucker, are you serious? It's still an 8. Like, that, what is that 0.5 suggesting? What, that it's got a fucking good theme song at the title screen, or it's got a good fucking title looking screen? Like, fuck off, dude. Like, nah, bro. If it's an 8.1 to an 8.9, it's an 8 overall fucking game, bro. That's, like, whatever, dude. That's why I don't number shit. When I do my reviews, man, I don't fucking give it grades or cheeseburgers or fucking numbers and shit. Fuck all that, dude. It's a written review. You read my shit and you take it at face value. You know what I mean? I'm not here to fucking for you to disagree or agree with my opinion. It will be based on my confidence of my product. Yeah, but even that though, can you add like if you're going into a game blindly, right? Because that's what I do. Because I never regret buys and purchases that I make. Because I always investigate every game that I'm fucking planning on buying. I research every game that I play. You know what I mean? And I think, not saying you, Nelson, because I wouldn't dare say that, but I'm saying I think gamers out there, man, like, they don't do enough research into something. They'll just take one look at, like, a teaser or a fucking regular first gameplay trailer, dude, and just automatically fucking judge it based on that. That drives me fucking bonkers, dude. I can't stand that fucking way of looking at video games, bro. It's terrible. Because those trailers don't show you how mechanics work. They don't show you fucking nothing. They don't show you the interface. They don't show you shit. You know what I mean? The first thing people look at is, how does it look? You know what I mean? If it doesn't look a certain way, then it goes in the shit trash fucking pile. You know what I mean? Dude, I'm paying this much money for a next gen console, and you guys are giving me games that look like PS2 graphics. Man, fuck out of here. That's dog shit. That's trash. Motherfucker, do you not... I guess people can't fathom that, you know, art styles can be done in all different types of fucking ways and variations, no matter what generation you're on. Why would Microsoft spend even more money than they already did to buy ABK when ABK was already sitting in the shitter, man, when the controversy went down? That's the only fucking reason why Microsoft went and tried to save themselves or tried to save Activision. They wouldn't have done it any other way, because if they would have done it before that. They already had all that money sitting in their fucking account freely to fucking buy out studios. Microsoft could have easily dropped 120 fucking million on that studio or that developer, man, if they wanted to, or that, like, Activision itself. But why do that? That's why I still believe that whole entire theory about as to why those two developers, man, Xbox employees went over there to stir up some shit. But anyways, I'm not gonna talk about that. I don't want to get my channel banned. I don't want Xbox deleting my shit. But I will say this, though, man. I don't care what anybody fucking says, dude, man. Like, Xbox is killing it right now, dude, when it comes to their IPs coming out, dude. Like, man, they got so many great games coming out. And, yeah, again, I don't give a fuck if they go to PlayStation. In fact, I'm glad they are. You know what I mean? I'm glad they are. Because at least Microsoft can fill in the fucking gaps while you guys are waiting for something for Sony to fucking release some shit. God damn. Yo, later in there, Nelson, man. Yeah, I'll be wrapping this up there shortly, too, man. Another, like 15 minutes and I'm out of here, dude. Yeah, dude. That shit's hilarious. Okay. Huh. Every month, like 12 games coming I want to play, and I can realistically finish two. Need less games, not more. Not more for me, anyways. Dude, I'm the same way, Nelson. Dude, I'm the same fucking way, bro. Like, there's already a list of games that I've already come out that I want to buy, but I'm like, nah, I'm gonna hold off. Like, there's, like I said, Phantasmophobia is the next game that I'm buying immediately day one, dude, man, to play that with fucking Faye and shit, dude, because I'm so fucking excited for that fucking game. But, all right, guys, man, I'm going to bounce the fuck on out of here, dude. I gotta go take a shit anyways. I can feel my stomach fucking rumbling. All right, guys, man. Thank y'all for popping in here. I know this is a short one, dude, but that's all right, though, man. At least I wanted to get at least a little bit one done for today anyways. But Nelson, thanks for popping in, man. I appreciate it. Latency, you as well, buddy. And Bree, of course, and fucking Gaming Night, Stardust, and stuff like that. I appreciate you guys popping in here for chilling with your boy for a half hour.